Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of my media production diary, and today I'm going to be telling you about what I've been up to this week. This week has by far been my most productive, as I have completed my genre page and my masthead analysis. In my genre page, I analysed 6 magazines in total, 3 music and 3 fashion. So the brands that I did for fashion, I did Vogue, Elle, and W magazine, and out of all 3 of those, Vogue was by far my favorite because I just loved the simplistic design and the layout. I also liked the Elle one. The W magazine was a bit too overcomplicated for me. I found it was a bit overwhelming to look at first, but I definitely think this aided in my decision of picking fashion magazine because I really did love the conventions inside of it, the genre. On the other hand, for music magazines, I analysed Rolling Stone, NME, and Kerrang magazine. And out of these, my favorite was definitely between NME and Rolling Stone. Kerrang was kind of not my taste. I found it was a bit as well overwhelming, and I think there was too much text compared to the main image. I just think it was a bit crowded. However, I felt like after I analysed both fashion and music, which is the 2 genres I was between, I definitely found I was leaning more towards the fashion genre because I just had more interest in it, and yeah, it was good. I think this was definitely a useful task. This week we had a typhoon, which was a blessing in disguise because it did allow me to catch up on a lot of media work, and it meant I could also do my masthead analysis. So in the masthead analysis, I analysed 3 mastheads of common fashion magazines that everyone may know. So the first one was Vogue. Vogue was by far my favorite. I found that the hidden meaning behind it, the text, the serif font, everything kind of conveyed elegance. I thought it was very simplistic, which I do prefer in a masthead because I feel like it shouldn't take, even though it is, you know, the most recognizable thing, it shouldn't take away from the cover of the magazine. And also the monosyllabic word that it means it has 1 syllable makes it really easy to memorize. So this compared to, Cosmopolitan, which I also analysed. Cosmopolitan was definitely like more of a mouthful, harder to memorize, and it also looked more squash on the page. So I think for my own masthead, I will pick a single syllable word because I think it is also more classy and easy to remember. The second masthead that I analysed was Allure magazine. This was by far my least favorite. I hated everything about this masthead actually. I do like the magazine itself. I just think
even though it's a magazine that, focuses and specializes in beauty, it should have a very, visually appealing masthead, and I think that this one is not set up because it is in a crayon font, kind of gives immaturity,
Well, if you want me to go on a whole tangent about it, you can listen to my evaluation, which I did do on SoundCloud, so yeah, I definitely talk a lot about Allure on there, but yeah, I was not a big fan of this one at all. I won't be taking any of the aspects into my own masthead. But it was good for me to learn what I didn't like as well. And last but not least, I did Cosmopolitan. This was okay for me. I feel like the masthead itself was quite long, as I said before. It's quite like, the font was good, but it's hard to read when the image is in front of it sometimes. That's why I feel like when there's more space between the letters, when it's a shorter word, you can, have the leeway to put the model in front of it because it does reinforce the model to be, powerful or, significant to the cover. But personally, Cosmopolitan, the layout, and it was just too simple for me. I didn't like the color scheme of the mastheads. I feel like it was sometimes a bit too colorful and it took away from it. It looked a bit more childish. And yeah, so Vogue, out of all 3 of the mastheads, was 100% my favorite. And if you want to know more about what I thought of it, you can go to the masthead analysis part of my site. Anyway, this next upcoming week, I really hope to just complete my summer product research. It does take a really long time to analyze each magazine. This is because we have to do, cover page, content page, and double page spread for 2 more magazines. I've already done one of them, but yeah, I hope by week 5 I will have my summer product research completely done. Thanks for watching!